Move to table the legislation, not in the regular order, but that's fine. We are prepared to get this bill through the legislature through unanimous consent, even if that's how the government wants to proceed. But we need some time to actually read the bill, which we expect to be able to be doing today. And so if the government or anybody decides to, to bring another UC motion, we will certainly will support moving this bill forward. But we do need to read the bill first. So we're going to be doing that now. My staff are looking at it right this minute. And unless there's something egregious buried in that bill, I don't see there being any holdup.
Once the bill is adopted, will the NDP push for more sick days?
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, we're not going to give up the fight to get people what they need to have an opportunity to stay well or to keep their workplaces safe and their coworkers safe by isolating and perhaps quarantining without losing income. And that's the big failure of this bill, as we all know. It's been widely panned because it's too few days. It's too little, and that's a problem. So we're not going to give up the fight. We're going to keep putting pressure on the government. It's just shocking that yet again the government has decided to put something forward that's not going to support workers adequately, that's not going to stop the spread of COVID-19, and that's not going to save lives.
We're going to move to the phone line.
Jeff Gray, Globe and Mail.
Hi, Jeff.
Oh, hi. Thanks, hi, Andrea. I just wanted to ask about this procedural thing today. So is that unusual, being asked to vote on something that you haven't actually read?
It's pretty disrespectful. I think the government knows very well that everybody has a job to do in the legislature. But as I said, unless we find something completely egregious in that bill, and my staff are poring over it right now, we have no intention of holding up the government in terms of getting this passed as soon as possible. I mean, let's face it, it's 407 days into this, 408 maybe, into this pandemic. Yesterday they made this announcement. It is absolutely, really very, very late, but it's very inadequate. It's embarrassingly inadequate, but it's something, and we have no intention of holding it up. But we do have to do our due diligence, and as I said, unless there's something completely egregious in that bill, we're certainly prepared to have it get through the legislature by the end of the day.
Afterwards, going forward, are you you're still of the opinion that permanent paid sick days are needed even to pass the pandemic? Is that something you'll continue to fight for?
Absolutely. As you may know, our private members bill included both, paid sick days in regular times as well as 14 days more during a pandemic or an emergency health order. And so we firmly believe that people should be able to take time off sick when they're ill, prevent infectious disease, viral diseases from spreading in workplaces. And we are going to continue to fight for that, as well as we're not giving up the fight for this government to actually step up and do the right thing to stop the spread of COVID-19. I think all of the evidence is very clear that this is where the virus is spreading. It's in essential workplaces, the very places we're asking people to go, to show up every day, to put their lives at risk every day. And the very least the government should be doing is making sure that if they are sick with COVID-19 or if they have to quarantine, just like the Premier's doing. I mean, let's face it, he's on day 10 of his quarantine and he hasn't lost a penny in terms of his paycheck. That's what every worker deserves, not just the privileged Premier of this province. Every worker deserves that, and that's how they will be able to make the appropriate decision if they're having symptoms or if they've been asked to isolate or quarantine.
No further questions.
Thanks, everybody.